pertinent information for you. I am 59. I have normal skin for the most part, but sometimes, like right now in the winter months, I might get a tad bit dry. I have a couple of pigmentation spots on my face that I like to make sure that they're not necessarily hid, but covered. I don't like full coverage foundations, and I don't really like dewy. I don't like luminosity hardly at all. I mostly like to even out my skin, and I'm a big fan of powder. Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. We're going to have 2 time tests in this. One is where I'm like this. I'm doing the test now, but I'm filming the intro and outro with this on at the starting mark. I am talking to you all through this whole process, so I'm not going to deliver a bunch of stuff here right up front. Let's just get into that first day where I wore this with no primer, just this, no powder, and went 12 hours. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Foundation. It says right here, skin looks more radiant up to 285%. I wonder where they get these percentages. 285, not 200, not 300, it's 285. All right then, let me get my phone here and let's see what it says about this incredibly new foundation that I was asked by you to do. Actually, just one of you, but I was going to do it anyway. So it says, my new buildable medium coverage hydrating foundation for a beautiful, healthy looking glow. One neutral is a shade for the fairest skin and neutral undertones. All right, a neutral undertone means, that's me, that you can have both warm and cool undertones and you tan slightly in the sun. This has a cap that pulls off. It is a pump, and let's prime that baby. Okay, imagine thin and runny and thick at the same time. See, it's running down my hand, and yeah, it did that rather quickly, but it's thick, like in texture. When you put it on, it's kind of thick. You'll see. Keep watching. Yeah, all right. What we're going to do is no primer. Okay, I'm going to put this on my face with a brush on one side, a sponge on the other, because I frequently do both. Today, hard as it's going to be, I'm not going to use a powder. I know, right? Because I'm a powder girl. But here we go. Swipe this stuff, don't like in a bouncy motion, and move quick. All right. Well, that does go on really nice. I'm going to switch to a 10 by because I really want to see what is happening. It does seem very hydrating. Yeah, I like that so far, but let's just go ahead and bring that over my eyelids. I just want to coat this side of my face the best I can with that one pump. So it took the whole pump, so maybe 2 pumps to do your whole face. That's what that looks like with a brush. I'm coming even closer. What do you think? Let's do the other side, a pump over here, and I'll use my e.l.f. sponge. So that's one pump on this side of the face, and let's use my sponge. Application-wise, I'm just going to say I prefer the brush. I think the brush is better. I wish I'd have used the brush on this side too. How are you going to see that if I don't? Right? Okay, so it was brilliant of me to do that. I'm smart like that. All right, so that is with a sponge and with a brush. And we like the brush side better, don't we? I do. Let me come in closer. Let's just put another pump right here. And as you can see, this is showing. This is showing some redness down here, maybe around my nose, definitely when I went over my eye. Let's put some more over here and see if we can get that to build up a little bit, because it said it was medium coverage. So let's see if it is. Yeah, that built up. So this is how it looks after I finish the rest of my makeup, and I'm a little less thrilled than when I first got it on. I think I'm just going to keep the cat ears in. I'm not going to do anything with my hair today because Shy Guy's here. I'm just going to be laying around all day watching TV, and my hair will just get all yucked up anyway. So we're just going to stay like this. But let me tell you, I used the Refer 30, which I love to use for bronzer, and I used the Refer 24 for blush. I felt like because I haven't got any powder on, this would happen anyway with most foundations, but really bad with this one. I had to do the stamping thing, which gives me a look I don't like. It's not blended out the way I like on the sides of my face. I'm not even going to try to contour my nose or anything because wow. But because this is so like tacky, sticky, I can't blend having not powdered. If I were a fan of cream blushes and bronzers and contouring, then probably this wouldn't be as big a deal to me. But there's something about the way this foundation lays on my skin, and it's kind of like that thickish, balmy, sticky. I can't blend over the top of it. And if you know me, you know I hate this whole, I think this looks greasy. I don't think this looks dewy. I think it looks greasy. Tomorrow will be a better judge probably for me because I will be able to powder it down, put on primer, treat it like I would pretty much anything else. Today is just about showing you who don't wear powder and stuff what this would look like. Now, to be fair, I would at least, if I wasn't going to powder, do this. So this is Charlotte's setting spray. So I'm just going to put that on really quick. See how that does together. And I will check back in about 4 hours. In the meantime, before I run off out of here for 4 hours, I am going to take some of these skin tints I had in the drawer and show you the colors next to this Charlotte Tilbury one and see so that you can make a decision if you have any of those, what shade you may or may not need. First impression though, I anticipate I will hate this in a few hours. Okay, but anyway, see you then. I don't like that shininess. I don't like the way this feels. I think it's done a really good job of not settling into my wrinkles in my forehead and over here, which I don't have a lot, but I don't know. I can't tell. Let's come up closer so we can see the side of my nose. Now remember, I've not been doing anything but watching TV. I think it's starting to wear off. You can see the capillaries. You can see my age spot. I have cooked dinner. We've ate dinner. We're just kind of laying around still watching TV. It's cold out. Why not? Anyway, so here we go. If you couldn't tell at the 4 hour mark, I think you can definitely start to see that it's, wearing off at the 8 hour mark. The visible capillaries around the sides of my nose and on my chin, I think that that's pretty visible at this point. I have had to blow my nose, but, other than that, that's where we are, 8 hours, and I'll be back in another 4. Okay, 12-hour check-in. I'm looking a little bit rough, so let me come in for a quick close-up, and then we will do the micellar water and take it off and see how much is actually still present on my skin.
Piece of land has been in your family for a while?
Moment of truth. Let us see That is actually a lot more than I thought was on my face. All right, we'll take this up again tomorrow. This is a new cream from Reffer, hydration cream. It's got niacinamide in it and stuff. And I put this on as my moisturizer, but I think that this is really good to just use instead of the primer. So I'm not going to put on a primer today. I guess we'll stick with the same kind of brush I used yesterday. This is a clean 47 multitasker from Sigma because I thought that it looked best that way. Okay, one advantage of this is I don't have to shake it up because it's in this squeezy tube. That's one thing I do love about squeezy tubes. And then I'm going to go another half. I can't see. It's like backwards, so I can't see where is it? You know, I wonder how this would do if you just use your fingers. Let's do that on my chin, and let's just see, because the consistency of it might be something conducive to that. Just use your fingers. It's balmy. Yesterday I kept saying that it was tacky. It feels like I put a balm on my face. That's what it feels like. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to use the brush now. But I think you could use your fingers. And I don't know if I'm going to use powder under my eyes or not. And I probably am not going to use a primer because on my eyes. Because this stuff, I told you, you know, because it has that balmy kind of texture or feel to it, it kind of hung onto my eyeshadow. So I didn't need really to use an eyeshadow primer yesterday. I think I will go ahead and use Charlotte Tilbury stuff on top of this today, because why not? Even the eyeshadows. Okay, so I anticipate that it's going to hold on much better today. I do see over here, I can see some polka dotting going on. You probably don't see this because when I point out things, they're just the polka dot stuff. I can see it in my 10 by. Now I realize that people don't see in 10 times, okay? But I want to use just a little bit more and build it up to medium, okay? We'll see what happens with that. Let's put a little bit more over there and on my nose. And we'll just spread it out from there. Let me come up closer here so that you can see what this looks like before I put the powder on. Okay, so this is how we are looking without putting powder on top of it. I never did acquire the Charlotte Tilbury loose powder, which I heard was wonderful. But I'm going to take this pressed one with my long comb thing, and I want to press this in here and see what happens on my nose. We have a blemish right there. We have a blemish that's, you know, working its way up here. This was the only thing I did, so I hope I don't break out from this stuff. And let's come down here. So I'm just going to take a brush. This is a Reffer 25 and powder the rest of my face. Not with a damp sponge and a loose powder like I normally do. And I want to see if this looks good. And I want to be able to put on my blush and my bronzer without issue today. All right, let me come up here so you can see the difference. I'm going to like the finish better just because I'm a powder girl. I don't like this shiny stuff on my face. I don't like my face to look like Shy Guy said yesterday. He goes, you look kind of greasy. So I don't like looking greasy. I'm just going to use her cult classic powder that everyone loves on both sides of my face. I like this much better so far. I'll be back after I finish my makeup. The coverage is definitely medium. So that's true. Okay, I'm back. I've reapplied some lipstick because I ate. I might have some crumbs on my face. I noticed that in the crevices, in my little lines, I guess because of the powder, I don't know, it's starting to line just a tiny, tiny bit. No one can see this powerful. But in the 10 by, when I look at my lip lines, around here, on my chin, I do notice if I go, like this, I can see where it's settling a little bit. And maybe a tiny, tiny bit underneath here. But, really not any worse than any other foundation that I wear. I'm very critical with a 10 magnification mirror, and I shouldn't be, because really nothing can hold up under that. It's very scary to look at a 10 magnification mirror. So this is about typical for other foundations that I like at the 4-hour mark. I will see you in another 4. Okay, this is the 8-hour check-in. It's 12 degrees outside. And so I had to run over to the Ulta, and I had a face mask on. So here is a little bit of the makeup that came off in my face mask. And then when I got home, I had to blow my nose. So that accounts for it coming off of my nose, I believe. But, that's expected. I think the wear off on it is, pretty much the same as anything else that I wear. But I am a little bit concerned about this zit. Now this has popped up today, and I notice when I'm looking that I'm getting a couple here. What the heck? See you in another 4 hours. Moment of truth. See how much is still left on my face. And before I do that, let me come in one last time. Just like yesterday, and every time I do this, take a little cotton round, some micellar water, and come around my face and see how much we have left. I like it enough that I would probably, wear it again sometime, and I don't hate it enough to return it. As far as wear test goes, it doesn't do any worse than a lot of foundations that I own. But, I guess I prefer the Magic. I think that was the one that I liked. I think I prefer that to this. But I will say this, there is a lot more on here now than yesterday. So the powder and the setting spray and the primer, it all did help it stay on longer. I mean, look, that's just dramatically better than it was yesterday. I mean, you can see it through. I haven't been on this side yet. You can see it through it. So it all stayed. It didn't wear off, despite the fact that I was touching my face and blowing my nose and wearing a mask. And so it did really good in that regard. All things considered, I think it's just way too radiant. If you have dry skin, I bet you'd love the stuff. Really, I think you would. But yeah, it's a little too luminous for me. Can I tell you something though? I'm not saying go out and buy these foundations, okay, for this purpose, because that would just be ridiculous. But if you have my skin type and you have the Lisa Eldridge foundation or the Tint Adol from Lancome, a more matte skin like the Laura Mercier, okay, mix it with this. I'm telling you, I mixed this with the Lisa Eldridge foundation, put it on, and all day long I had the skin of life. I looked flawless. But anyway, okay, then I hope that was helpful and helps you make some kind of a decision. And yeah, I hope you guys also know that you're the best part of the Fritzy family. And that if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya, bye. And I'm out.
Okay. What the heck was that? What? I don't know. Got this squeaky little voice. What the heck is that? Of course, hey, stop and do your dang job. Every day it's the same thing with you. Which is wet, of course. But I took a towel and, made sure I got as much of the dumpness. I took a towel to make sure I got most of the dumpness out of this sponge. I think I've got enough hair gel in here to actually do this, but this looks like something about Mary. She didn't use hair gel. Stop it, Mary Ellen. That is a white hair. Wonder where that came from. We can't say it's a goat hair, right? I'm in a goat. Bad. I'm bad. Okay, welcome back. Or welcome back. Never mind. Welcome back. It's Mr. Carter and Barbarino. 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 Oh. Remember Horseshack? Gosh, just stick to the subject. I'm not going to wipe it on you or anything. Just come.
Yeah, right.
Just come down here. Come down here. There we go. Lower. Oh, wait, let me scoot over. Come here, honey. Keep this way. Okay, so there's the camera. Look right up there and tell them. How did my skin look yesterday in this foundation?
Wet.
Wet? Oily? Greasy?
Something like that.
Something like that.